welcome to the Curious Mind of Raquel. So today, as you may know from the date this is going out, we are working diligently, but the bathroom, the little cottage bathroom that I'm renovating for my parents, is not quite done yet. So I thought what I would do is let us have a little craft along, and we can make some wreaths for our All Hallows Eve. Okay, so the things that and if you follow along on my blog, you know that I said let's go ahead and have the supplies ready, and it is 2 of the grapevine wreaths. You could make them as well. Now I also have ones that I have made, but I wanted to just have them very symmetrical and to put on the cottage, because I have the 2 doors that are wooden, right? And these are, if you see the little kittens in the background, that's Pizza. There's Pizza. Pizza, don't get, he loves the light, and he's got to be careful. No love. And but anyway, so 2 of these are about $4.99, a fiver, okay, at the Hobby Lobby. So I got 2 of those. Now, the other thing that you want to have, like some kind of 3M hooks, okay? And, or you could use nails, whatever, like depending if you have like an antique door or wooden door. I do, but as you know, in the cottage, I made the doors look like wood because they were glass. So then I also have some little wire, really thin gauge. I think this is, I don't have my spectacles, but it's the really thin one that you can just, I mean, it's very nearly translucent, so you can't see it, you know, when you're doing this. Now, this is, I'm going to have to make do with this, okay? This is a plastic. And the reason that I had to go with this is because my door, okay, the doors on the cottage cannot hold loads of weight. So whereas I've done this in the past, I used real hatchets or real, whatever you want to use, any kind of hatchet, axe, a spear, anything that seems like, you know, kind of, I don't know, not witchy or Halloween or anything, but I just think just something that seems a little bit, you know, like maybe perhaps spooky. Does that make sense? A bit spooky. So I think an old hatchet would look good. Now, because these are plastic, which I would normally never do, my other ones that are in storage, okay, I told you everything is in the packed up to move to our forever home. So I was not going to go through them. I don't know where they are in my dad's smithy. And I didn't want to go out and buy any more, you know, brand new ones and then have to do all that because I've got them somewhere. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just picked these up on the Amazon. I'll give you the link too if you want to, because what you could do, I mean, I think they look pretty real. And I'm just going to take some crafty paint and I'm going to make them look more authentic, okay? And so be creative and think of all the wonderful notions that you could do. Now, like I said in the blog post, normally this year I would have used spears, but the more I looked, I could not, the spears that were normally, they're too big, okay? Like a normal spear that someone would use under the water, like a mermaid would use, they were too long, okay? So, and what I wanted to do with this was I wanted to make wreaths. And like a classic wreath, Halloween, but the essence of class, you know what I mean? Like I want it to look nice and like very statement, dramatic oriented. And so I thought these small little hatchets, so you could use a real hatchet. Like I said, if you've got a real wooden door, you can do that. I would highly suggest doing that. Maybe perhaps finding them on the Amazon, not Amazon, I'm sorry, finding them on the Facebook Marketplace, or going to like an antique store, or going to like a flea market. That's where I found mine prior, was a flea market. So, and then find ones that are similar in you know, in look, but they don't have to be exactly the same. I mean, that's the beauty of being creative, is that make it be whatever you want. So anyway, so for decorative purposes, I'm going to use these. And then I also have, this is about, I think about 2.5 inches black ribbon, okay? You don't want like the wire ribbon, you just want the typical, you know, silk ribbon. They didn't have silk ribbon today, not the size that I wanted. So I had to get this one. I was just running out of luck everywhere, wasn't I? Well, you've got to remember too, we just went through a hurricane, so everything was, you know, there was not many choices, like the stores being open and finding it, and so, but anyway, this is going to be fabulous, and it can take the weather too. That's why when I'm speaking of a lot of these things, I think about the climate, because Florida is very much has loads of humidity, okay? So that's all you need, is this, the wire, the hatchet, and the wreaths. Now, you can be creative and do whatever you'd like, but I made these I probably made these in, I want to say it was 2009 is when I made my first ones. And I used real axes, but I had different doors at that time. Okay, so all you're going to do, basically, this is how simple it is, my loves, is you're going to take and you're going to use your wire, and you're going to have your hatchet kind of angled, okay? However you want it, but I like mine a bit angled. And then you're going to take your, I'm probably going to touch up the paint once I have it on there, because I'm not going to need to do loads to it. But I'm going to do that. Oh, I hope this doesn't come, oh, look at that. It came right straight away out. Oh no. Got a bit of a problem here. Let's see if I can finagle it. I'm just going to use my, oh good golly, it's really quite a bit. I've got quite a bit of mess on my hands, okay? Let me just cut, I'm gonna cut it, because this can be cut with scissors. Now you want to use like your paper scissors or like your garden scissors or something, because you don't want to ruin your really good shears, okay? So then what I'm going to do is just, okay, so I've got this is about, I don't know, 1.5 feet, and I'm going to take it around the neck of the you won't be able to see it either, okay? Take it around the neck of the hatchet, wrap it round there about 2 times, okay? Twisting it as you go, and pull it right underneath the neck of where the blade would be, okay? And then you're going to just weave it in there, okay? I don't know if you can see it, okay? But let me put it on my lap, okay? The kittens are just really having a go. Look at Peter, isn't he so cute? He's such a charming baby. Prudence tomorrow is going to be spayed. And then the week afterwards is the boys, Constantine and Peter, are going to be neutered. So she's being a little cowardly today. Okay. All right. So it almost looks as if the hatchets are a bit too small. It really does. But we're going to make do, okay, for right now. Okay. Got that. Now we're going to put this here. And the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to let me move this around, because I've got to get a good, maybe I should have actually gotten a smaller thing, because that's what you've got to do, is make sure that your hatchet or whatever you're your tool is, okay, whether it's a spear or whatnot, it's long enough that it will hang over. See how this is, I might have gotten a little bit too big of a wreath, okay? We're going to make it work though, I'm telling you right now, we're going to make it work, okay? That's what you do. You make it work. You make it work, darlings. But anyway, like I was saying on my blog, raquelcarter.com, the link is in my description as well on my Patreon, which you know where it's at, my darling dear hearts. You know that I spoke about me saying that the spear was what I really want to do, you know, I wanted to do originally for the cottage, but I just couldn't find anything. I thought, well, I could make my own spear, which I could do all of those things, but nothing seemed to be fine, you know, nothing seemed to be working. Now this, I'm wondering if this, I'm wondering, do I need to screw a hole in that? Do I need, because I believe it's plastic. But yeah, I think that would have been the most perfect, is to have a spear at the outside of Scarlet Rose Cottage, because it is a mermaid cottage. Everything in here is, everything is mermaid oriented, but in a most glamorous, sophisticated type of way. You know what I mean? I never wanted to have, I mean, I've always had mermaid decor in my homes, you know, because I am a mermaid, a retired Wiki Watchy mermaid too. And I never wanted to have, now see how cute that is? Now look at that. Now I'm thinking it probably should have been a bit smaller, the wreath, okay? So this is what you've got to do, is you've got to figure out, like, do you live in a mansion? Do you live in a manor house? Do you live in a gothic, you know, where your doors are just extremely big? You're going to want to accommodate that for, like, you want some big, large wreaths and a large hatchet or a large, you know, piece of tool or something. So then that's all you're doing, okay? We want this to be really, really simple is what I'm saying, okay? So this is a 30 foot. And so I figured what I could do is cut this absolutely in half, okay? And because I want the tails to hang really, really long, you know what I mean? And then I would do my cutting on an angle. I wouldn't tail them, you know, where you do the V in the middle. I would not do that. That's just my personal opinion. I wouldn't do it. And you're not going to make a frou-frou-y bow. Do you understand? You're going to make just like you would tie your shoes, okay? So let's get to the bottom of this. And now I need to cut my other piece so it's going to be adequately correct in dimensions, okay? We don't want one short and one long, okay? So then you're going to do the same exact thing for your second wreath, or you might only have one wreath, you know? You might only have one wreath where that's all you need. And of course the kittens love this type of thing. This is a craft that they will have loads of fun with. Yes, Peter, my love, I need help, please, darling. Okay? The kittens are all on me. So pardon me, my darlings. Let's see here. We've got to have, I might have been a little dramatic with that, cutting away. But we'll figure it out here, okay? But anyway, this is a 30 foot. You can get this at the Hobby Lobby, and I think it's like $3.99, £4. And then it's going to use up basically the entire thing. Yeah, that's what I managed to. I thought, you know, it would be nice if it's, you know, 15 foot. Now, obviously, I might have to cut this down, my darlings, because I'm not going to need quite that long, because I want it to hang quite a bit long. So I want it to be round that. So if I do it this way, so then all you're going to do, my darlings, is you're going to just tie it. You just tie it like that, because I like it simplistic, okay? We're not trying to do some, you know, 8-bowed, you want it to kind of just be like, oh, you just kind of threw it out there, but it's still sophisticated. Do you understand me? Yeah. Yeah, so see, I'm going to do it just like that. And then you can really do it however you want to, but I'm just telling you how I'm doing it, just doing it really, really simple. And then I'm going to use more wire, okay? Wrap it round your, in the, you know, where the knot is. You're going to slide your wire, your florist wire, beneath the little thing where you tied it, where your knot is, so you're not seeing that, okay? You want to try and keep everything disguised, where it doesn't look naff, do you know what I mean? Okay, so then I'm going to figure out where I want it, which I know I want it right here on the bottom. I want it on the bottom. And hello, Peter. I've got to figure out how to cut the nails of the, I found some YouTube video on how to cut your nails for your kitten's nails. Now, where did that go? I fed it through. Maybe I shouldn't talk so much while I'm trying to do the craft along. There we go. Okay, now, yeah, that's what I was saying, is perhaps I need to find, because the kittens are really destroying everything in the cottage. They literally are destroying. I know, I'm going to, you know, I'm never going to be unkind to my kittens, but I've got to figure a way to absolutely, come on, my darling, you've got to come out. And there you go, look at that. And even if it's even kind of like a little, you know, awkward, it's not perfect, you know, you just kind of want it to like it's been there for like 100 years or something, okay? And then the tails hang really, really long, and you want to like even those up and everything. But how gorgeous. I always got the most compliments on this, and it's so simplistic. Look at that. Not even 10-15 minutes. Okay, beautiful. And then what I'll do before I show you the wreaths on the door is I might have to finagle that around a bit, but I'm going to make it look more authentic, okay? And then I'll do the other one, and then I'll show you what they look like on the door, okay? Episode, and I know it was quite short, but I also think that the bathroom is going to be a pure delight, and you're going to love it. And it's really going to show you what you can do with like under $200 and being super, super creative, and also using the master of manifesting, because that's how loads of the materials that I got for the bathroom redo is I manifested in. And so it seems bizarro, you know, like, oh, you manifested, but yeah, that's exactly what I did for the wood in the cottage here. I manifested that I would have like some old kind of old timey wood that looked like it had been here 100 years. I liked it where you walk on it in some areas and it's a bit squeaky, and it kind of like the boards kind of like move a bit. I wanted it like that. I even said to my dad, when I'm putting it down, because he had to help me a little bit, like when I'm doing certain things, like matching it up to the, you know, around the beams and everything. So, because it's a, you know, the wood was sort of petrified. So I had a little bit of a problem in some areas in the cottage when I was asking for his help. In addition, he is very knowledgeable. And so I want to like take up all of the information my dad has like a sponge, you know, like an ocean sponge, because my dad's in his late 70s. I don't know how much longer. I mean, we never know what's going to happen, right? We don't know how long people have on the earth, but I just feel that this is the opportunity to be able to relish in my father's creativity and his masterful skills of being a carpenter and a welder and you know, just all of those things. And so it's very important that I learn from the best, and I'm taking advantage of that, you know. So anyway, that is where we stand today. But yes, thank you for being patient. Thank you for being understanding whilst I go through all of this transition. So I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. All right, toodle pip. Cheers, darlings. Hello, darlings. You might be wondering what is going on. Well, what happened was I decided not to use the axes. I decided to use spears, as would a natural mermaid if she were landlocked. So this is where I continue forth to make spears out of wood. So I had to use smaller pieces of wood because obviously they had to fit on the doors, as well as not being too heavy. So I hope that you like this, and sorry about the inconvenience of going on and on about axes. But you could use axes. That would be actually quite lovely and quite nice, especially if you wanted to use real ones. I think that would be grand.